Welcome to City Chiropractic's online new patient orientation. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video. We feel it's super important that you have a solid understanding of what health is and how you may have more control over it than you may think.
We also want you to understand how stress affects your health and the importance of not only limiting your daily stresses, but also building up your internal resistance to stress through chiropractic care and healthy lifestyle choices.
Lastly, we want you to know our role as chiropractors on your healthcare team and how getting adjusted should be a part of your healthy lifestyle.
Would you agree that your health is your number one asset and that you wouldn't trade your health or the health of your family or loved ones for anything in the world? Yet if I asked, most people would say that their health isn't where they would like it to be or really deserves to be. And the question is why? See, if I asked most people what it takes to be healthy, they'd say eat a proper diet, exercise, have a positive outlook on life, get enough sleep. So the knowledge is there. In fact, we have probably 75% of the knowledge to be healthy. So why aren't we healthy? It really comes down to understanding the consequences of the choices we make. Ultimately, we've been told from day one that our health is really out of our control, that sickness comes from bad luck, bad germs, or bad genes. We're here to tell you that that's not necessarily the case, that you do have choices in your health. Dorland's Medical Dictionary states that it's the optimal physical, mental, and social well-being, not merely the absence of disease or infirmities. Webster's goes on to say that health really is 100% cell function 100% of the time. Health then is really a continuum. At one end we have 100% cell function or optimal health. At the other end we have 0% cell function or death. Most of us are riding along that continuum probably around 40 to 60% cell function. That means you could have that much loss of function before you start to become symptomatic. And that's where people start to make the choices on their health. We're here to tell you that you can make those choices early and determine where you're going on that continuum based on the things that you put into your body and exercise in that aspect now. So it's important to understand that that continuum is dynamic. You don't sit at 7 out of 10 and just hang out there. You're either pointed towards 100% cell function and health, or you're pointed towards 0% cell function and death. So someone that's at 3 out of 10 and really struggling but starts to make health changes, changing their diet, getting up off the couch and starting to exercise, having a positive outlook on life, is going to start moving in the direction towards positive or optimal health. They're better off really than someone that's at 7 out of 10 but is sitting on the couch, drinking their beer, eating their pizza, watching the football game instead of getting up and being active. They're actually pointed towards 0 out of 10, are going to have more health problems down the road. What moves us along this continuum is really environmental stresses. It's that chemical, things we eat and ingest. It's physical, trauma. It could be postural strains, sitting in front of a computer for 8 hours. And it could be emotional, family, work stress, financial stress. And so that's what's really moving us along through this continuum. So we have this built-in system called fight or flight. It's designed really to get us out of situations that are stressful and then get us back to where we should be and allow us to settle down. So some of the things that happens in fight or flight response, it's a physiological change within our body. So most of us have experienced that when someone asks us to get up to speak in front of a group. We start to get that heart rate jumps. You feel like your heart's in your throat. Your blood pressure is going to go up. Your respiration goes up. You start to get a little jittery, nervous. You start to forget things, what's happening. These are all natural processes that your body goes through. This is developed from years and years and years back in our physiology, our DNA. This allows us to get out of situations that are dangerous for us. Unfortunately today, with stress being pretty much chronic or constant, we're under these physiological changes for a lot longer period. So where increased heart rate and blood circulation and blood pressure and those kind of things may be good if we're wanting to sprint around a track, that's bad if we're sitting in an office desk chair 8 hours a day. And so that's really leading us down the road to many of the chronic diseases we see. So elevated heart rate, blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugars, those are all real important if we have to fight off a threat or run away from something. But if in a chronic sense that's kind of sitting in our bodies as we're sitting at a desk not having an outlet for that, and it's going on day after day after day, it starts to equate into what we see in the chronic diseases of heart disease. And the same with diabetes, with cancers. All of these things are really a manifestation of the stress we're under. So it's important to understand that some of the choices we make can either put us further into that fight or flight mode, or it can start moving us out of there. Well, it's really our nervous system that interfaces with our environment that allows us to detect those stresses that are going on and make those appropriate physiological changes. If we're allowed to do that in the right situation, it's very positive for us. And so making sure, ensuring that our nervous system is functioning properly is key, and that's where chiropractic comes in.
So hopefully at this point, you have a better understanding of what health is, you feel empowered knowing that you have more control over it, and you know how important it is to limit the amount of stress in your life. So, where do we as chiropractors fit into all this? Chiropractic is built on the premise that the body is self-healing and self-regulating. The best example I can give you this is probably a fever. Just like our body knows how to heal from a cut, it knows how to heal from an infection. It'll raise our body's internal temperature, making a hostile environment for the bacteria or the virus. You know, as a parent, I understand the natural reaction when our kid has a fever to reach for the Tylenol. This would actually disarm their defense against that infection. Most of the time, a little fever does a lot of good, and it's an example of how the body is self-healing. As chiropractors, we try to honor this system, and we do this by supporting a healthy nervous system. A structural misalignment in your spine can interfere with nervous system function. Through the chiropractic adjustments that you receive in our office, we restore that proper alignment, proper positioning of the spine, thereby improving nervous system function, improving overall health. So now that you have a better understanding of chiropractic, let's talk about some of the common misunderstandings that we see. I think the most common one is that we're back and neck pain doctors. Now, we have a great reputation. I think Consumer Reports rated us as the best when it comes to low back pain. And it's only because we restore proper function and the body's ability to heal that people with back and neck pain respond so well to chiropractic. Another misconception is that if you don't have pain, you don't need a chiropractor. I often introduce myself as a chiropractor and people say, thankfully, I've never had back pain. I've never needed a chiropractor. Well, remember, it's about function and not symptoms. Some other conditions that cannot be based on symptoms are like a cavity. You go to the dentist and not just maybe for a checkup to find out you have a cavity. Most people, a lot of people have. More serious examples of that are heart disease. In heart disease, in 50% of the cases, the first sign or symptom is a heart attack, and half of those heart attacks are fatal. Or cancer. Cancer can often spread throughout the body without any symptoms. So remember, it's about health, not symptoms, and like going to your dentist, it's important to get checked by your chiropractor. Lastly, a common misunderstanding about chiropractic is that once you go to a chiropractor, you always have to go to a chiropractor. Now, this is absolutely not true. You only have to go to a chiropractor as long as you have a spine or you have stress in your life, physical, chemical, or emotional stress in your life. All kidding aside, lifestyle choices are just that. They're choices. Eating well or eating organic food is a lifestyle choice that you make. Exercising, getting up early, going to the gym, it's a choice that you make. Chiropractic is a lifestyle choice. It's not something that you have to do. It's something that you choose to do to be healthy. So again, thank you for taking the time to watch the video. Welcome to the City Chiropractic team. Please take the time to answer the questions associated with the video, and we look forward to talking about this video with you at your next visit.